Welcome to your magic moon message. This is the Peace Dealer, 29 degrees, Sun in Gemini. We have officially ended the first quarter, and I want to make this now before shit gets that much crazier. I appreciate Aries was impactful, Taurus was impactful. Gemini gave us time to breathe. Okay, Gemini gave us time to process and gain perspective. Like, wow, that just happened. And we going right back to the bullshit and fuckery. So besides all that, very important things. The moon has just entered Sagittarius. By the time we come into the 180-degree angle, we will have begun the full moon at the very beginning of Cancer. This is where things start to shift. I think we're going to have not two full moons here, but yeah, we're not gonna have two full moons, and we're gonna have a full moon at the beginning of Leo season as well. So just to give you an insight of that, this isn't like an interception, but we had the 150-degree angle at the very end of Scorpio, and that 180-degree angle is going to enact in Capricorn. Okay, just something to keep in mind. So we're skipping Sag as far as an angle, and we had the full moon in Sagittarius. That's how we started Gemini season off, give or take. So this is a very, 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 very important Juneteenth. This is a very important day. This is a very important 29-degree Gemini transit. It just off the strength that this is the peak level of massive disillusionment that will start individually before we take it social in 3 months and we start presenting receipts. Everything from now until the next 90 days, or realistically the next from we're 90 degrees from Neptune. So from 90 degrees of Sun to Neptune to 180 degrees Sun Virgo opposite Neptune is discovery. All right, so you're not only taking the seeds you planted when the sun was on Neptune and they're breaking through the ground, but now we're going to integrate this insight, this intellect, to become straight facts. Receipts are about to just receipts are about to start coming out, and I'm for example, Kendrick Lamar said that everything he said on Meet the Grahams was facts. So expect receipts to come soon very soon. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Listen, this is, if you think that this shit over, it's not. And I'm just using that as an analogy for everything else happening in the world. So let me make sense of this. Pisces represents your beliefs. It's the final perspective. And that's why I like to use the scientific method when we talk about mutable signs of perspective and perception. Because everything starts off as a thought. I think I'm him. And then we experiment this. We go out being him. And then we have the next stage of magic, analysis, Virgo. And this is where we start to analyze what we experimented. You know, I'm him. Clearly, this is my thought. So I went out to the club and I started dancing. And what do you know? Because I'm so sexy. When I was at the club, I noticed all the girls couldn't stop looking at me. I mean, it's me. Look at me. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh my God, you're so cute. You're so sexy. So we analyzed those real details, and that helped me now see, wow, this is what really happened. And then the third stage of magic is Sagittarius, interpretation. So, well, what do these facts mean? Clearly, I went out and I couldn't keep the ladies off me. Can you imagine me going out? I couldn't keep the ladies off me. And so what does that mean? We interpret that means I'm him. I am that Nigar. You know what? I'm him for real. All right. And now that we move forward, because now that we've seen the meaning of my initial thought being himothy, right? Now we've seen through being real in the field, I really am him. And now this brings our fourth final Pisces perspective. Now that we've interpreted the meaning of the analysis of the details of everyone just, can't, keep salivating over me, I now believe I'm clearly himothy. And this now brings us back to the infinite cycle of, well, we can test that belief again. Well, now that we know I'm him, how much more of him I am? We go back and we experiment. Okay, so of course, every single year since 2012, and I say since 2012 because the last time we had this cycle was in the 1800s. Pause for dramatic effect. Okay, and now since 2012, which was the next time it came back, every year in March, technically end of February and the beginning of 2012, but then through March, what happened? The sun conjuncted Neptune. The sun conjunct Neptune was a promise, a divine promise. It was really just the activation of developing your imagination. So it since 2012 increased your beliefs. And if you need proof of this, where were you 2012 versus where are you now? 2012 took beliefs of who you could be versus now at the end of this transit, you're becoming that, right? 2012, I wasn't even a peace dealer yet. I had just started reading tarot, learning astrology, right? And I had believed in my 10th house, maybe I could do something with it. I don't know what I could do with this. I believe that I can serve people and, create and teach about how magic is real. Fast forward to now, I got receipts. I have receipts of stuff I predicted that people are looking at me like that could happen, and then it happened. All right. And that's just my individual representation of what's happening to everyone in the collective. So it's happened with you as well. And relative to this year, which is the last couple of years, this year and next year, that the sun will be on Neptune, this at the potent max degree of your imagination's capability to process the metaphysical, the over 1%, the 99+% of the electromagnetic spectrum you don't see physically, right? That through your imagination, you can develop a sixth sense. We have activated in March at the final level. And so this 90-degree square that activated the supernatural potential of our beliefs, what Neville Goddard, Pisces Sun, calls God, is now massively disillusioning with the logic of Gemini, because you have expectation versus reality, right? Virgo versus Pisces, and Gemini in between is the thought process through logic that can disillusion us from the delusional sense of our beliefs towards a more realistic sense of the data and details. So this could disappoint a lot of you. Maybe certain things you believed were going to happen, you're going to begin to find out never in a million years. Or maybe certain things you were doubtful could happen, you're going to realize that it is possible. So if we have a belief in Pisces and a analysis in Virgo, then this 90-degree angle of those seeds breaking through the ground is this maximum awareness of the thought process needed, your awareness of an enlightened perspective that will integrate previous beliefs you sowed seeds for, literal wishes, right? That from then until now, you have activated a mindset in order through consistency to flesh this out into a behavioral pattern, a habit. So that's why everything moving forward is unprecedented with new precedents established. Lightly, of course, semi-sextiling Uranus and Taurus, sextiling Chiron and Aries. And this one aspect alone is going to do a whole lot to change the way you practically think about magic, which is as simple as just developing a program in your brain. And that program is a magic spell. I'm going to use the magic spell to temporarily make my lips less ashy. You see, magic doesn't always have to be hocus pocus. It can be as literal as this. The semantics around what we even think of magic has always been off because, collective forces have done everything in their power to try and nerf you, but no one can make you do anything. Take your power back. So with the moon in Sagittarius, this is giving us a higher perspective of the mindset we activated through the new moon and have integrated since the moon was in Virgo to tie this into our habits. And it's going to show you, it's going to give you a higher understanding of the magic of your words. It's going to affect so much more causality, as the moon will square Saturn as soon as the sun goes into Cancer. And this max degree of thought process is getting ready to cardinally direct itself into Cancer, similar to the end of every season, which is you adjusting perception. We start the season moving off in a direction. We get into the middle of the season strengthening that conviction or the direction. And then at the end of the season, we gain perspective. This perspective changes our direction. It's like, okay, we were headed here. Now let's move a little bit here. All right. And now we're going to feel in that direction. And this is going to really step us into a cycle of developing psychic power, or really just coming into a deeper understanding of your character. But I like the sound sci-fi and supernatural. So we're going to say psychic power because that's what it is. All right. So with that being said, the moon that is in Sagittarius right now is not only providing an ascended understanding of what mindset you are operating with, right? Your spiritual intelligence, not artificial intelligence. You are a soul having a physical experience with a spirit. Just like the lighter is the body, the fluid is your soul, and that fire is the expression of your spirit. And this will enable you to see the final draft of the paper you wrote, which represents your attitude. All right. This is going to bring to a conclusion and crystallized finality or completion of the ideas you are ready to work with and turn into habits, behavioral patterns, the abilities you've activated that will subsequently become techniques. All right. And that's basically it. Mercury and Venus are in Cancer right now. So this is going to deepen how much more substance we can add to what we've activated relative to this year, as every year is literally a cosmic firmware update. And you can literally look at each of the personal and outer planets as organs that do have functions. And so the function of this conscious awareness 29 degrees square Neptune 29 degrees is disillusioning you from any facet of your brain that has denied the supernatural potential you possess, especially in favor of a materialist reductionist society that refuses to acknowledge anything outside of the physical materials and instruments that they use to measure someone. Imagine trying to use physical instruments to try and measure a metaphysical entity that exists like a frequency, like a ghost. Like trying to pick up the frequency of a ghost. Like, it's madness. It's actually hilarious. I mean, it's fallacious to say that, oh, it exists because you can't find it, but it is just methods here. We got to work on the methods. You feel me? And with that being said, yeah, there's the other side of it where in light of this, it opens up the room for frauds. That it doesn't make medicine any less real because frauds practice medicine. So you're going to come into an updated lexicon through the rest of the year to make the process and reality and existence of magic so much more true and real for you. And be very mindful of what's beginning to integrate at this max 29 degree level. It will quite literally adjust your mindset so that it aligns with your beliefs and so that you see more evidence, not confirmation bias, of facets of yourself that you may have believed but was just hard to make sense of until now. That being said, do be prepared for people to lie their fucking ass off and make all sorts of shit up, especially when they can't accept the fact that they might be wrong about something. It goes denial, then it goes pride, then it goes pure delusion. And a lot of people are finishing off the pride stage and just going full on delusion. Ooh, that was a bar. That was a double entendre. I didn't even mean it like that. If you caught that. So just keep that in mind, because it's going to be madness out here. And the more you stay focused and not get caught up in what everyone wants you to be mad or angry or happy about, the more you will remember that you're here to walk this true path on this North Node Aries mission. Y'all stay blessed as always. Hold on, Virgo. I got you. I'm going to do this for you. You ready? Yeah. You like that? You like that, Virgo? You like that? Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm going to stop being obnoxious. Y'all have a blessed rest of the Gemini season. And I'll catch you Cancer season.